The worst misses in the football history. If you are an avid football fan and have watched any of the football recently, you would have noticed that there were a fair few shots that were either spooned over the bar or struck wide of the net, missing the goal. Theo Walcott and Gylfi Sigurdsson's chances are the two that spring to my mind right now. It's hurtful to see that big players with talent and years-long experience still missing the easiest of goal opportunities. Even Cristiano Ronaldo, with a record 6 Ballon d'Or, has missed a couple of scoring opportunities in his illustrious football career. Over time, there have been so many outright woeful misses. But do you know about the worst ones? In today's video, I'll be sharing with you the worst misses in football history that left fans disappointed. Without wasting any further time, let's begin. Fernando Torres' miss versus Manchester United. Fernando Torres had been through a weak period before the game against Manchester United, and almost everyone thought his goal against the Red Devils could inspire him to get back into shape. But his missed shot from 4 yards could still shake his confidence. Torres grabbed a steep pass from Ramirez and effortlessly managed to get past David De Gea. After hard work, however, he missed the target and looked completely disappointed by his miss. If the Spaniard can overcome this missed opportunity, then he could recover from his very important slump for the Blues. Well, that day, Fernando broke the hearts of so many Chelsea fans. Diego Forlán's miss versus Juventus. Diego Forlán has established himself as one of the best strikers over the last decade and has been successful for both the club and the country. However, he also had difficult times as a striker and did not have a good time at Manchester United at the beginning of his career, after which he had greater success. His failure against Juventus as a Manchester United player would not have been one he would like to see, but it shows what a lack of confidence can do to even very talented players. At that moment, Forlán snaps at a mistake by the goalkeeper, and without anyone to beat and without any pressure on him, he can't hit him. Manchester United fans were incredulous after the terrible miss. Arnaldo Vera's miss versus Emelec. The modest shin guard is a valuable piece of equipment in the often violent environment of South American club football, but the protective cushion did Vera no favors in this duel against the 2003 Copa Libertadores. This was by no means a disappointing evening for the Paraguayan employer of the central defender, Libertad, who won 5-1 against Ecuadorian team Emelec. But Vera was responsible for perhaps the worst missed shot in the history of the competition, when he shot a shot at him in the bar from a yard. The Emelec defenders were so stunned by Vera's transformation mistake that it took them an eternity to finally clear the loose ball. Ronnie Rosenthal's miss versus Aston Villa. Ronnie Rosenthal had a decent career with good performances at a number of clubs in his career, but this failure against Aston Villa when he played for Liverpool is certainly one of the most amazing failures you will ever see. This missed shot in 1992 is one of the most memorable in the history of the Premier League. After a long shot from David James, Rosenthal circled Aston Villa goalkeeper Nigel Spink, took a touch to stabilize himself, and hit a left-footed shot. However, he only managed to hit the crossbar, and Liverpool lost the game as well. Chris Iwelumo's miss versus Norway. When Iwelumo was called up to the Scotland squad to face Norway in 2008, he probably dreamed of scoring the winning goal on his international debut. Instead, he had to live out his worst nightmare. Iwelumo had put the ball on a plate in front of him after a flat cross from Gary Naisfield in the World Cup qualifier against Norway and played past the post from 3 yards. Even the player himself was shocked. He opened his mouth wide in disbelief. The World Cup qualifier ended 0-0. Cristiano Ronaldo's miss versus Sheffield United. In 2006, Cristiano Ronaldo was just beginning to be noticed in the world of football. However, he doesn't want to be reminded of that special day when he missed 2 big chances against Sheffield United. The first opportunity must have been difficult. Although he was supposed to score, the second was criminally missed. Ryan Giggs provided a perfect pass for CR7 between the goalkeeper and defense. The Portuguese had an open goal to aim for, but he shot it over the bar. The commentator called it the miss of the season. Yakubu Ayegbani's miss versus South Korea. Yakubu scored 21 goals for his country, a record that cannot be shaken. Actually, it should have been 22. When the ball landed at his feet in this duel in the group stage at the 2010 World Cup, the then Portsmouth striker was standing in the middle of the 5-yard space, just 3 yards between him and the goal line. The South Korean defenders, meanwhile, were busy appealing for offside rather than trying to put pressure on the opponent. It didn't matter though, as Yakubu's amazing mistake ultimately proved costly for his country as Nigeria finished last in the group. Jakub Błaszczykowski's miss versus Freiburg. Although Bundesliga giant Borussia Dortmund was leading 2-1 at the time of this event in 2010, it wouldn't have been a bad idea to score another goal. But Błaszczykowski thought the job was done and didn't have to add another misery to that opponent. He had made the most difficult part of the problem by running off the halfway line to connect with Robert Lewandowski's long pass. The fans behind the goal were so sure of the goal that they were already cheering. Unfortunately, it never arrived. What happened? Instead of running the ball to the better shooting distance to the goal and taking it coolly, he slammed it from close range. Only that the ball went over the net, and the fans celebrating the goal were too dazed as to what just happened. Ilya Siwonczyk's miss versus Syballa Winkowski. Perhaps the defenders of the opposing team had begged Siwonczyk to help them win the game. It was not known. But how do we explain that? This is one of the worst mistakes ever recorded in the history of the game. In fact, it's hard to qualify for such an embarrassing moment. Siwonczyk's employer, Dynamo Zagreb, trailed by 1 goal and needed the equalizer to get back into the game. The player is known for his ability to catch balls, and there was a scenario where he needed it. Everyone would expect something great to happen. Well, what happened was just a disaster. Siwonczyk held the ball as expected, just a meter from the goal line. Unfortunately, he then played it out for the defenders, and Zagreb was denied the safe equalizer. The fans couldn't believe what just happened, but they had to endure the pain of defeat. Fahad Khalfan's miss versus Uzbekistan. The 18-year-old Fahad Khalfan chose the worst time for his miss, which cost his country a place in the semifinals of the 2010 Asian Games. Fahad shot after a back pass to the Uzbek goalkeeper Timur Yurev, and after he had made an ineffective dummy that let the ball hit through his legs, he collapsed, perhaps in embarrassment, and gave the ball to Fahad to score a goal in peace. But a few meters in front of the goal, Fahad sank the ball, only it bounced against the right post. Qatar lost the match 0-1. If Fahad had scored, the game could have ended in his team's favor. It will certainly hurt him again and again when he remembers the game. So this is the list of worst misses in the history of football. There are numerous other embarrassing goal misses in the sport that leave fans disappointed, but these misses break their hearts. Which one of these did you find the worst miss? Let me know in the comments section below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and hit the bell icon for future video updates. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.